which this sort of leads into something that most people have heard now, thanks to our good vice president, the Ordo Amoris. So what should be our reach of that as well? Well, first, actually, your responsibility is to take care of your family and your community. And that doesn't mean that your family and your community are somehow intrinsically more important. But it's more urgent. They're more immediate. Your responsibility is to what is the most immediate to you. Yep. And then once that's taken care of, then you can move down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And go to the less immediate things. So, everybody talks about, we have to support the missions and we have to support, people going to Uganda and to Rwanda and, to the third world countries and all that. And that is good, and we should be doing that. But I think a lot of people these days, particularly Christians, because that's where the focus has been, a lot of people these days have been doing that to the exclusion of taking care of their neighbor. We live in a first world country. Not everybody lives a first world life.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody actually does need your time and need your help with something. Somebody may not be poor, but there might be an old widow that needs a piano moved.
I'm reminded of the fact that we don't even know who our neighbors are.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I know about the war going on in pick a country overseas. But if that grandma next couple doors down from me did need a piano moved, I'd have no idea.
Yeah, you know exactly the death toll of the most recent battle that takes place in the Ukraine. But if your neighbor 2 doors down keeled over in the middle of the night, would you know about it?
Unless I saw the ambulance show up the next day. That'd be it.
Even then, would you know that that's why the ambulance showed up?
True. And it goes back to, it's not just about giving money. It's about being present to people. It's about giving yourself to those around you.
Right.
And how can I do that? Who's closest to me?
And that really is what our Lord means when he says, love your neighbor as yourself. As much as it hurts to say because of other certain Christian sensibilities, your neighbor is not some 3-year-old kid in Rwanda.
Yeah, he is, but it's...
He is in the same sense that he is also created in the image of God, and he also exists in the same world. But you shouldn't say, oh, look at the picture of the cute little black kid. I'm going to give money to this cause so I can help that little kid. But your neighbor next door to you, who you don't even know, is having to choose which kid he feeds that day. He may have lost a job 6 months ago and has barely been scraping by. Or the old lady across the street may not even be strong enough to take out her garbage. And may not have somebody related to her to do that for her. 1 block away, there might be somebody who is not capable of mowing his lawn. You can't send food to a kid in a foreign country and ignore all the suffering that is around you.
Well said.
I'm not saying it's deliberate hypocrisy. I think it's more of a psychological rewiring, again, with the dopamine hit. The constant dopamine hits that we don't even know that we're getting these days.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels good. And this also, just in my head, briefly I'll mention this, it brings up this point. Everybody has gotten ads for the Feed a Child campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
And... Or we've seen them on TV, and it's always something like, just $1 can feed a kid for 70 days, or something like that. And, while that might be true, I don't know if $1 can provide enough nourishment for good nourishment for a kid for 70 days. But that almost feels like now it's a sales pitch. You know what I mean? Is you're trying to get, the pitch is, look how much bang for your buck you're getting. Which saddens me that some charities think they have to do that in order to encourage more people to donate.
I don't know about that. It's reducing the friction of, well, okay, I have to change a kid's life. What does that take? Actually, very little. So, like it makes it all the more tempting, like because it's so easy all of a sudden to do it.
And it does, and in that case, it does make sense. But also, there's a just sort of, I don't know, there's just this sort of, look how little you're getting for, it just feels like a bang for your buck sort of thing. Which saddens me that, that's the case, because there are way too many people in this country that I know would get that in the mail and can afford to give more than $1 and would still only give $1. Look, I can change a kid's life for 75 cents. Here's my 75 cents. I did good today.
I don't know that I'd buy the bang for your buck thing, but what I tie it back into is one of those questions I asked at the beginning of this whole podcast, which is, it seems like there's all these causes, right? Mm-hmm. So they got to differentiate themselves somehow. They got to try and, because they know they're not competing with just you and your local community that you could be taking care of. It's your local community and the other 50,000 groups. You know,
right.
And then you got mail for half of them, or saw TV ads for the others and stuff. So it's like, how do, if there's a way to look at all of this, the book He Leadeth Me by Father Walter Ciszek, great book that everybody should read.
I've seen that book, I haven't read it.
To paraphrase part of what he says in there, if you want to know what the will of Christ is in your life, look around you. So,
you do keep saying that.
Yeah, and part of the looking around you can mean that if I get this thing for a charity in the mail, that I can take care of them. Right. But it also means actually look around me. It means pay attention to my neighbors, to that hidden suffering that maybe I don't know is there, but I actually could do something about. Like I'm literally 100 feet away from asking a question that could change their life.
Right.
There's a sales pitch. Oh, by the way, it's really tough compared to putting $1 in the mail. But
yeah, the charities are telling you, it only takes $1 to change a child's life. Well, that may be true. Do you know how many dollars it costs you to go and talk to the old lady across the street? $0. None. It costs you $0 to be a nice person. It costs you $0 to give of yourself, but giving of yourself is of infinite value.
Mm-hmm. And do I do this, folks? No, I don't. But
neither do I.
But this is a challenge to ourselves. Like, if I don't do it, fine. It still doesn't preclude me from thinking about it and talking about it on this podcast.
And I'm going to take myself to task for it even worse than I would ever take anybody else.
Which...
Particularly with my own tendencies to self-deprecation, which you are personally very well aware of.
Yep, because I also have those too. So,
but these are just the things that you can and ought to do.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to make sense of, okay, who do I take care of? Ordo Amoris, just think about taking care of the people around you. Let everything else kind of flow organically from that.
And while there may be a sort of, subconscious guilt for if you're not actually able to take care of the kid halfway across the world, there might be a subconscious guilt over that. But that is not a true guilt. That is actually a false guilt. That would be the devil talking. Because also, he is not your immediate responsibility.
Yeah, not compared to the others. So.
Because somebody else actually will take care of that kid. There's no guarantee that somebody else is going to go take care of the old lady across the street.
And again, it's still good to give. Like, we should be doing that, but prioritize rightly.
I'll never tell you not to give, but things must be done in their right order.
Mm-hmm.